Hi there, welcome back to Japan, and specifically to the TV tower in Sapporo, where I've just come down from doing a reaction to the new song by Luv Me. Now that's an interesting one in itself, so if you want to check out the reaction first of all, because you know this is the review video, then pause this, click on the little link in the description below, and that will open up a separate YouTube player where you can see the reaction. Otherwise, I'm about to jump into the review. Now I know and I'm aware that doing this outside makes it all the more interesting that you're not going to actually see any reactions because you can't see my face move. I'm behind a mask, as well I should be. Health and safety people. There's a virus going around. I think we're allowed to talk about that on YouTube now, aren't we? Yeah. So anyway, what are we going to say about this song whilst I wait at a red light and hopefully don't freak too many people out? Well, first things first, obviously I really like it. I like the band's sound, and this very much goes in for that sound of theirs that, you know, has that quintessential quality that makes their song so interesting, in that it's kind of, it's sparse but it's precise. It knows when to have impact and when to be more delicate. Now I've said this about a lot of their songs, so it's kind of hard to really add a huge amount more to talking about their sound specifically, but there was something that I came to my thoughts that I mentioned during the reaction. I wanted to say it again because I think this is actually quite a pertinent point to really discussing this band and several other bands like them, which is that the song on its own could be argued not to have a great deal of identity, especially considering that it does, you know, follow a lot of the cues that you hear in their other songs. It does have a lot of the similar sort of techniques. You know, it's got that very sharp production, it's got a slightly sort of airy and loose sound to it, and yet at the same time it's got lots of little interesting sounds put in there, very sharp, very quick sounds all the time, like the little water drop sound that was in there, the nice little quick punches of that, not too loud, but the synthesizer that was put in the post-chorus part, little things like that, you know, touches to the fact that her voice is very delicate, you know, little nuances in her singing performance give it a sort of a fragility, a certain humanity to what you're listening to. These things you could all mention, but these are all things that, like I say, come up in their other songs. They're not in their own right things that you could say make this song different from the rest of their songs. But it is interesting when you've got a band like this who just innately have quite a unique sound, who are innately quite identifiable as having something that works for them, then in a way a song that kind of builds on that, a song that adds to that, is that a negative thing, or is that just them reinforcing the fact that they've created their own sound? Now, as I mentioned in previous reviews of their material, I do think that there is a case to be made for perhaps in the future them branching their sound out and trying different things later on in the sort of future stages. At the moment, I don't really think they have to. They're in the very early stages of their career. I do hope that as time goes on, we see the creativity that clearly is in the band. I mean, like I say, when I saw that first video of them, you could see from the very performance that they were, you know, I mean, they were just multi-instrumentalists. You know, each of them was clearly able to play more than one instrument. And, you know, so that combined with the fact they clearly have a very good ear for production and, you know, just sort of sound crafting as general, not just songwriting, but actually crafting sound, you can't help but feel that the potential there is pretty much limitless. So, yeah, in the future I might want to hear them sort of branch away or expand upon their sound, but at the moment they're just kind of compounding the sound they have. And I think that's a good thing. So, yeah, as I'm listening to this song, like I say, it's putting a smile on my face. I'm enjoying it. It's not doing anything that I haven't heard from them before, but it's reassuring me to the fact that what you're listening to is actually something fantastic, you know. So as is the case for any of these groups who are relatively new, I think you could view this in a very different way in years to come. If their sound develops and branches out into all different things and they really expand upon what they're doing and the talents that they clearly have, then this could be like a really nice view to where it began, and this just another string to their bow, so to speak. Obviously, if they keep on doing the same thing forever, which I don't think they will, but if they do keep on doing a similar sound forever, it's just going to be part of why you love them. So as is often the case with this is a really beautiful part of the Christmas lights, by the way, but as is often the case with a band who have such a distinct sound, I think if they do something that plays to that sound, something that is quintessentially them, then it's always going to please the fans, and it's always going to leave people who weren't into them to begin with a tad baffled, or just not won over, shall we say. My glasses are steaming up so much from the steam coming up from the... Let's do that. Do the old teacher thing. Prop them on the end of your nose. As long as they're in front of the mask, they don't steam up. I do need to kind of see where I'm going. So yeah, like I say, I mean, it's one of those ones, and I've said this a few times before, it's not going to win over anyone who wasn't already won over, but it's going to keep fans very happy, and like I say, in context, that's a good thing. Well, it certainly can be a thing, and it's certainly never going to be a bad thing. So, that's my thoughts. Like I say, I wouldn't necessarily give that to a band who does something that we've all heard before. So, for example, I mean, I've often complained about the whole Oasis thing. The Oasis, all of their songs are the same. But what makes that bad is they weren't really creating a sound to begin with. I mean, their original sound, as far as I'm concerned, was just them ripping off a sort of, you know, the current, at the time, the current sort of Manchester Britpop scene, and mixing it with just, hey, we know some Rolling Stones and Beatles chords, let's just string them together and say that we wrote a song. So that's my view, at least. I know I'm going to get some anger for that. But yes, as a result, you know, those sorts of groups, when they stick to their guns, it doesn't really mean anything. But a group who already have kind of created a sound to begin with, then yeah, like I say, it means something. So that's my thoughts. Like I say, I mean, I didn't really feel that it was so pertinent to give a direct review so much on this song as more what it means as a general. Because like I say, I don't think this has a huge number of cues. It has some really cool little bits. It certainly has some things that makes it identifiable. It's not a copy-paste by any means. I mean, I love the melody, I love the performance, I love the way the rhythm switches up before the chorus. It does have things that mean that if you were listening to it on an album of their music, it would earn its position on that album. But like I say, it would earn its position on the album for the same reason that you would like all the other songs in the album if you indeed like them. So those are my thoughts. Interesting one as always. I like these songs that give you more to think about than just the song. They actually allow you to think about music as a general. So as always, you know how this works. Those are just my thoughts as spoken through a mask. You can't see my face, but you can see my mask wobbling. It's a pop shield as well, actually. I just realised we've got an inbuilt pop shield now. No excuse for any hard P's in any videos that you watch recorded outside. You hear a hard P and you know the person is not looking after their health or the health of those around them. So, as always, tell me what your thoughts are. Comments greatly appreciated. You can like and subscribe if you want. Those things are greatly appreciated as well. Feel free to follow any of the social medias linked in the description below. Big thank you to all of our patrons. As always, you guys are the ones keeping this whole thing afloat. Part of the fact that I've been able to do this journey as well has partly been down to the Patreon, because we are a non-monetized channel, so a massive thank you to you guys, as always. And yeah, so until I see you in Japan soon for one of these, thank you for making it through to the end of this video, and for now, ciao ciao.